Now, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce to you Mohamed El Shafie, a graduating senior majoring in philosophy. He is the recipient of the HSBC Egypt Public School Scholarship and the Dr. Ahmed and Ann El-Mokadem Study Abroad Scholarship. In addition to his scholarly endeavors, El Shafie volunteers as a tutor for underprivileged children in Cairo and is a writer at the AUC Times, a student-published magazine on campus. El Shafie is also passionate about music and is an accomplished pianist. After graduation, El Shafie hopes to attend law school in the United States. Please join me in welcoming Mohamed El Shafie on stage.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mohamed El Shafie, and I am a student of philosophy at the American University in Cairo, who has the pleasure of being the recipient of both the HSBC Bank Egypt Public School Scholarship and the Dr. Ahmed and Ann M El-Mokadem Study Abroad Scholarship. And I'm here that I may tell you a story. But before that, let me assure you of one thing. Even though it is, as it were, a fact universally acknowledged that a young, politically ambitious man in possession of a microphone and the attention of a good audience is likely to go on speaking forever, I shall resist the temptation, and in the next minute or so, shall tell you of my past, present, and future, and the role that the American University in Cairo has played in changing the first, shaping the second, and inspiring the third. The past was quite full of music and poetry, I have to say, so much so that my chiefest ambition was to become a pianist of world renown with a few poems to my name. Until one fine summer morning in the year 2009, I found myself standing among a big group of tear-gassed protesters, a trembling, helpless, blind little creature. In my confusion, I asked an elderly gentleman of the crowd what he was there for, and his answer was, that men may come to stand proud, fearing neither the tyrant's bullet nor the fanatic's stone. Words that have ever since then been my guiding light. And even though still hopelessly fond of the piano, I decided ever since then to make my purpose in life making this world a place where men indeed might come to stand up proud. And so, when time came for choosing a university, the American University in Cairo was my first, nay, even my only choice, partly for its reputation as the leading liberal institution in Egypt, but mostly for a great many conversations that I had had with several of her professors, whose kindness, dedication, and devotion persuaded me that the American University in Cairo was indeed a place whence to start changing the world. And the AUC, in great many ways, has given me opportunities to come closer to my goal. From countless extracurricular activities, such as teaching underprivileged children and refugees English, music, and German, to writing at the AUC Times, among a great many other such activities, to a chance to study Latin and Greek at the University of Michigan as an exchange student, and present my work at several international conferences, to that most important of all, the kind attention and learning of many professors to whom not even 100 volumes of sweet words could do justice, let alone praise. The fruit of all this is the present. I now am a senior student of philosophy, and my hope and conviction is to help in realizing the old protester's dream and avert the danger of terrorism through establishing a genuine philosophical foundation for a true understanding between East and West. As to the future, it shall be devoted to law. I have just had the pleasure of being the very first blind person in Egypt to take the LSAT, or the Law School Admission Test, and shall soon, hopefully, God and scholarships permitting, be studying law in America. Thank you. You're an absolutely wonderful and beautiful audience that I'm finding it actually quite hard to stop. But I would go on to say that I'm hoping that with the aid of philosophy and law combined, aided by a truly liberal education, and that spark of noble hope that I have seen in many an AUC and I might indeed come to see a world where men might come to stand proud. Thank you. Now, actually, this was supposed in the arrangement to be the end of my speech. However, a pianist is always a pianist. I shall give you a little encore. It happened almost about 72 years ago. St. John's College, a fellow liberal institution, had just started its very great books program. And the American government during the Second World War was planning to, or thinking at least, of getting hold of its buildings to use in their military efforts. So the dean formed a delegation and went over to Washington in order to persuade the authorities not to do so. The gentleman of the authorities who met them told him, you got 60, sorry, I'm not even going to try to attempt an American accent, not with so many Americans around at least. He told him, you have 60 seconds to explain to me why I should not take over your buildings for supporting the war effort. The dean got out his pipe and very, very slowly started filling it and then lighting it. And that man who had just fled from Nazi Germany a year or two before went very slowly to the door. When there were only 5 seconds remaining, he turned and said, because without this university and what it stands for, the country would not be worth defending against the Nazis. With this, I leave you and hope pretty soon to be able to achieve that dream of peace and liberty undisturbed by fear, with the help of the AUC and what it has taught me. Thank you very, 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 very much.
Mohamed El Shafie, thank you for an impressive speech and for all the positive energy that we felt from you.